Now, today, we are going to get a first look around the Rob Burrow Centre for Motor Neurone Disease, something we've talked about for so long.
Yeah, and it's really happening. After his diagnosis in 2019, Rob campaigned tirelessly to raise awareness for the condition. Now, the treatment centre named after him will be a beacon of hope for those affected by MND. And I'm delighted to say that John Maguire is there for us this morning. Morning, John.
Morning to you, Sally. Yes, welcome to Leeds, to Seacroft Hospital, and I also am delighted to be able to say for the very first time, welcome to the brand new Rob Burrow Centre for Motor Neurone Disease. Just look at it. This is what Dr. Agam Jung, Rob's consultant, visualised so many years ago, inspired by Rob. It's bright, it's airy. When the sun comes out later, you'll get a sense of that. Beautifully laid out, a very comforting, a very warm environment, one that was designed from the get-go to have patients at the very heart of it, but also to be welcoming for their families. Therefore, Rob's family have had a look around to get a sneak preview, and we were with them.
The Burrow family have always been immensely proud of Rob.
Oh, that's amazing.
His playing career, his courage in the face of his motor neurone disease diagnosis, and now the legacy of this specialist MND centre in Leeds that bears his name.
You know, I'm 70 odd now, and this is one of the best days of my life after the family and obviously marrying Irene. But it's one of the best days of my life, so it's a dream come true.
It is. And for Rob, Lindsay and all the family in it.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's really incredible. I think it's kind of a bit of a goosebump moment walking in and seeing, you know, the quotes and the pictures and the facilities are really first class. And, you know, ultimately Rob wanted this centre to try and help families. And I think he would be incredibly proud. And we feel incredibly proud that the centre's in Rob's name.
Welcome. It gives us great delight to kind of show you around and be the first people to come and see what we've created. I hope it goes some way in terms of what Rob, Agam and yourselves envisaged at the time, a beautiful welcoming building where patients could bring their relatives.
It's the first of its kind in the UK. Inspired by Rob, his consultant, Dr. Agam Jung, explains how patients and their families are at the heart of the design.
And this will be like an informal space where you can just be standing around and talking rather than the traditional waiting room of the hospitals where people are just sat in chairs and lines. This end to me is really the most important one, particularly that door, because when I first saw Rob, I had felt very strongly that I had not given him the dignity. There was no space where he could have left you know, easily, privately. So this door to me is really important.
Hello girls, how was your day at school, my little princesses?
MND forces fundamental changes every day, so the centre will address not just the patient's health, but also how people live their daily lives with and despite the disease.
Rob would be like over the moon.
I would have loved to have seen this. It gives everything that Rob wanted. You know, it's that one-stop shop. You know, everything you need, you come here and you've got it. So they have really listened to what the need is and delivered that.
They've got a room for everything. They'll want for nothing when they come here. They just, if they want it, they'll get it, won't they? Them little things matters. And like you say, I think it's been overlooked, and it's not until you deal with someone that you realise their needs, and you can't easily get them, but you've got it all under one roof. So it's going to be fantastic.
Rob and Lindsay's children have already given it their seal of approval. The family hope it will start a revolution, form a blueprint for others across the UK. They understand the true value of a place like this.
I know, hand on heart, that patients are at the very centre of this building. You know, everything has been designed with patients in the mind, so access into the centre, having quiet rooms, having family space, everything has been encompassed into the design of the centre. But I think to actually come here and to see it in the flesh and to see it for real, it's a real kind of pinch me moment.
So proud. When Rob and Lindsay first mentioned this 5 years ago, I never thought this would be it. It is amazing building. it's made such a difference to people with MND and the families, because the families go through a lot as well, don't they, Jeff? This is just hopefully makes it just that little bit better for them.
Well, I think, you know, when you get diagnosed, it's no hope and no future. I just hope that having facilities like this takes the no away from no hope and no future. So there is hope and there's a future, and it's a massive step forward.
It's a centre of love, isn't it? Absolutely.
Rob's DNA runs throughout this building, not just the bricks, mortar, timber and glass with light flooding through, but also in its ethos, what it means, what it can do, and what a difference it will make.
Yeah, we will see that become manifest over the next days, weeks, months and years, of course. There's the wonderful picture that's drawn so many eyes to it. We can talk to a couple of members of the team, Paul Watkins and first Craig Richardson. Good morning to you both. Congratulations, I should say, because it is wonderful to be here. Craig, only 18 months ago, we were in the back garden seeing Rob's family putting the spades in the ground, and you've done it. You know, what have been your personal highlights?
Yeah, absolutely. Morning, John. So Rob had a vision, didn't he, to create that beacon of hope and compassion. Seeing the emotion on Rob's family's face last week when they arrived for the first time has to be the highlight for me.
Yeah. So you've done it. You must be pleased. Done a good job.
Almost a seal of approval, which is what we needed. Yeah.
Paul, the fundraising will continue. We'll be with Kev again in December for another week of ultramarathons, and lots of other people have been raising money throughout, continue to raise money. So now it's built, where will money go in the future?
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of future fundraising, the centre has to be worthy of the name above its door. So we're looking at research for the first time in Leeds. We're looking at innovative research for earlier diagnosis. We're looking at education. We want it to be that beacon of excellence for people with MND and their families. So looking at holistic therapies for the entire family, and also education. So yeah, it's about making the building and this beautiful space worthy of the name above its door.
Well done. Thanks very much, and both. Good to see you this morning. So much work, of course, to be done. Ultimately, the search for a cure will be absolutely prime across those working to try to tackle motor neurone disease. Dr. Agam Jung is here, the mother, the boss of the project, and also Katie Dowson, who's been one of the fantastic fundraisers to make this building a reality. Well, you've done it. Was there ever any doubt?
No, I have never had a single iota of doubt on this. So yeah, I've always believed in this. And, you know, a big thank you to everybody, to the whole country. And of course, most of all to Rob and Kevin and Rob's courage. This is a fitting legacy for Rob's courage.
You had this vision, you had this idea. Might have written it down on a napkin, I'm not sure. Yet here it is, and all of the different elements as well. We talk about it being a one-stop shop. We talk about, you were saying the other day, it's not about treating the disease, it's about treating the patient. Explain that philosophy to me.
I think, you know, patients need to be treated as human beings, and quite often in the busyness of a busy hospital, doctors with the most compassionate hearts, you know, we are looking at a disease, we are trying to find a diagnosis, we are trying to create the management situation for them. And I think at the other end is the hospice, where we are looking at the person, but then we are quite delinked from the underlying illness. So I think, you know, a patient's illness becomes a part of that patient's journey, and we can't delink the human aspect from the disease aspect. And to me, this is this place where every patient will be treated with dignity, with love, with compassion, and you're treated as a person with an illness. You're not defined by your disease, and you're not defined just by your personality.
And Katie, as I say, you've done lots of fundraising. You lost your father to motor neurone disease. What does the realisation of this place mean to you and to your mum and the rest of your family?
It's an emotional one for me. You walk in here and you feel like you've just got a big hug from the British public who have made this building happen for us. You know, the care and the kindness from people. They care about Rob and they care about the wider MND community. And, you know, it's incredible. 3 years ago, we started on this journey, didn't we, Agam, with the 7 stories, and just to see how much, you know, support and kindness we've had is just unbelievable. It will make such a big difference for people and families like mine.
And the Leeds Hospital's charity were telling us that they've had 17,000 separate donations that have made this place possible. So, as you say, really, it's captured people's imagination, and you can understand why.
Absolutely, and I think that Rob was so honest and open about his diagnosis and about his journey, and people want to make a difference, want to change that. And, you know, it's a devastating diagnosis to get, but what people don't see is the daily setbacks and the battles that people with motor neurone disease face. And this centre it's the start of something different and about changing care. And, you know, if we can make those small battles and those small struggles better for people, like Agam says, coming here and having people, you know, from all different specialities being able to help, that will make a difference. And it'll just make those, what feel like small battles, much, much easier.
Well done. Thank you very much indeed. Both of you, Agam, absolutely wonderful. You've done an incredible job. Thanks a lot. Folks, we'll show you way more of the centre later on this morning, give you a good look around. You'll have noticed in the VT, Rob and Lindsay's children absolutely loving the beanbags, having a great time in the family centre here. It seems like a strange thing, doesn't it, for a hospital to say, welcome in a family, welcome in children. But Agam was saying that Rob and Lindsay's youngest, Jackson, had already said, when can he come back here? So she was telling me earlier that already is a seal of success and lets you know that what they thought this place could do, will do. Back to you two.
Absolutely right, John. Great to see you. Great to see the centre looking so incredible this morning. And I don't know if you remember. Do you remember we went and filmed with Rob and Lindsay when he was going to a hospital appointment not too far from there, and the conditions of where he used to go for his appointments were not ideal. It was really quite basic, you know, incredible staff doing incredible work, but in a not brilliant building. So to see that today, I almost can't believe it.
Yeah, and it's happened
unreal.
Really quite quickly, hasn't it?
Really
and
quickly.
It's so bright and airy, and those lovely pictures up.
Thanks to everybody donating.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of you have.
Thank
you. Right now, though, the time nearly 7:25, and when the rugby legend Rob Burrow was diagnosed with motor neurone disease in 2019, he started to campaign tirelessly to build a centre to treat and support sufferers and their families.
So today, a first look at the centre named after him is the realisation of that incredible dream. That is it right there. John Maguire is somewhere inside that building and he can tell us all about it. Morning, John.
Yeah, morning, Sally. You know what? When people walk into the Rob Burrow Centre for Motor Neurone Disease, their jaws drop. It's absolutely wonderful. You've just seen what it looks like from the outside. That was always the design. Lots of light, lots of air, open spaces, family-friendly as well. This is one of the therapy rooms. Just wanted to show you this. Look at the extra wide beds that will help the therapist deal with the patients. Hoists, of course, to lift people out of their wheelchairs. And this is somewhere where people can come who've had an MND diagnosis and go through some assessments, talk through some of the things that might make their lives a little bit easier. This is a chair that'll tip up so that people can get out of the chair. The kind of thing that you just might need a little bit of help with getting used to it. This kitchen here is to enable staff to do kitchen assessments with patients. Look how they've adapted these knives and forks here, this cutlery. The idea being that as the condition progresses, as people lose things like strength in their hands, they're still able to use knives and forks. Consulting rooms throughout. There are two wings either side of the very light and bright atrium that we were showing you earlier on, and things like family rooms as well, because it's very welcoming, not just for patients but for families as well. We're joined, I'm delighted to say, by Jamie Jones Buchanan and by Phil Daly from Leeds Rhinos. Friends of Rob's for, I don't know, Jamie, how long?
A lot of years, good 25 years or so, and even before we played at the Leeds Rhinos, I used to watch Rob as a junior, mesmerising, young, small, enthusiastic, jaw-dropping, I think was the words that he used, and hasn't he turned another dream into and I'm walking in here just having a look round, looking at the messages on the wall, and hearing and seeing what it means to so many different people.
And it won't be a surprise to you, will it, that he was the vanguard of this, and this centre got built in such a brief period of time, so much money, so many donations. It's extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. We're talking to Phil actually about the lens through which we see Rob Burrow as a rugby league player, and that courageous, conscientious, committed human being that he always was. You know, always affectionate, and used that on the field. He did that in that second journey as well through MND. So resilient, so hardworking, always thinking about others, but also knew how to celebrate a win. You know, so that's what sport's all about. And I'm sure he'd look at this as a win, a real success and a milestone. And what fascinates me is it's not a sport, it's in the medical industry, it's in a completely different sector, but all those values and principles that underpinned Rob's character has been used here, and he's going to change so many different lives.
Yeah, you get a sense of that already, don't you, even if in its infancy. Phil will have Kev's latest crazy challenge coming up in December. I know you're the brains behind that operation, so the money raising will continue even after this place is finished. I know Kev donates to various different motor neurone disease charities, but how important is it to keep going?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look around here, it's just fantastic, and this was Rob's vision, and the people who've donated to this, they've made Rob's dream a reality. You know, 17,000 individual donors and sponsors have put their money into this, which is just shows you what a great community we live in, and that people are so generous with their time and their money. Everyone who's gone for a trained in the small hours to run their first ever marathon, or had a bake sale, or done things at school, every single pound has made this building a reality, and that's our legacy to Rob, and that continues, because until there is a cure, there is care, and I think what we do in this building, what the fantastic staff here will do, is amazing, and it will help the MND community, and that continues. We've got the 7-4-5 game on Sunday. Our great mate Ed Slater hosting us down at Gloucester, where the two codes of league and union come together. That's going to be a fantastic day. And as you say, Kev goes again, 1st of December. We're in Bury St Edmunds. We'll see you there, John, at the start line. And then 7 days again across. You know, I think Christmas really starts, doesn't it, once Kev starts hitting the streets. So 1st of December down at Bury St Edmunds. We're going to 7 cities and regions, and this year's theme is 7 in 7 together, because it's about going out to those areas where MND is, and maybe the spotlight doesn't get to those people. So we're really looking forward to that, and people can find all the details now. If they search 7 in 7 together, you'll find all the details of where we are across the country.
So the work continues, doesn't it? Despite the fact that this is ready to go, as you say, it will change people's lives. Just getting a sense, talking to people already who've been on that journey, for want of a better phrase. There are so many different ways that it will just help them.
Yeah, and I've always understood that heritage and history and storytelling is important in sport. And you just look around at some of the artefacts. Yeah. The stories are depicted on the walls. You know, Phil was just talking about the bell outside that they used to ring, and that's what's inspired so many people to carry on that fundraising, to commit their time and energy to doing the right thing for the right reasons. And I just love the fact that it's here in the city of Leeds, you know, a city that cares. Phil used the word care, and we see that oozing. And whilst ever we've got that inspiration and see that compassion, we'll keep moving.
All right, thanks very much indeed for joining us, guys. Good to see you this morning. See you again in December, as you say, Phil. Already looking forward to it with some trepidation. One of the things they've got here, this is a lovely touch, a graffiti wall, so people can come in, sign things, leave a message, draw a picture, perhaps explain what this place means to them. And as you can imagine, in the months, in the weeks, in the years ahead, this place will be absolutely filled with messages of love, messages of inspiration, and that's what underpins this whole building that carries Rob's name so proudly. Back to you two.
John, it looks amazing. Thank you so much. And I imagine, as John says, over the next few months, there are going to be some interesting signatures on that wall as people start to visit.
So many lovely touches there.
It's gorgeous, yeah.
Great to see it.
Now, when the rugby league legend Rob Burrow was diagnosed with motor neurone disease in 2019, he started to campaign tirelessly for a centre to treat and support sufferers and their families.
And today, we get a first look at that centre, which is named after Rob. It's the realisation of the dream.
And somewhere there is John Maguire. John, it's an incredible building, and it's one of these moments I can't quite believe it's real.
Yeah, Sally, I think you're absolutely right, and that's what everybody has said to me this morning that's seeing it for the first time. We did have a sneak preview with some members of Rob's family last week, but otherwise people are genuinely seeing it for the first time. They've been able to see the outside of the Rob Burrow Centre for Motor Neurone Disease for the last 18 months or so as it's gradually risen from the ground, but inside is very, very special indeed. It does, by all accounts, exactly what Rob wanted it to do, exactly what the design set out to do. That was to make it a place that's welcoming, a place that's not just about the disease, but very much about the patients and their families. We'll take you for a look inside in a minute, but first, let's remind ourselves of how we got here.
A motor neurone disease diagnosis is both life-changing and life-limiting. Few, if any, would see it as an opportunity. But Rob Burrow had other ideas.
The initial conversations were around, obviously, you know, the centre and having a centre in Rob's name and, you know, the fundraising. You know, they're no longer that pipeline dream. We have the centre, we have the physical building, and, you know, that to us is so important as a family because that's going to continue Rob's legacy.
He was treated here in the former infection control wards at Seacroft Hospital in Leeds. Long walks from the car park, along corridors and into areas with inadequate privacy. So a dream, a vision was born. With his consultant neurologist, Dr. Agam Jung, they began to draw up designs for a bright, spacious, even welcoming one-stop shop. Patients and their families would be at the heart of the design.
To have a purpose-built centre in my name, I was totally blown away. To bring the family to a new building with wheelchair access and to have a place where the kids want to come and feel at ease. It affects the whole family so they will feel appreciated, and it is nice to know their loved one is in the best place possible.
So what I want to create is this really beautiful building, bespoke, suited to the needs of the motor neurone disease patients, where art, science, sport all come together, a place where no matter who you are, from any socioeconomic strata, from any ethnicity, you know, everybody is welcome there.
So now it had to be funded. £5 million became almost £7 million. His friend and former teammate Kevin Sinfield ran incredible endurance challenges, and the finish line came closer and closer.
I'm really looking forward to it functioning and being what the vision was, and the knowledge of you know, it's sad Rob isn't here to see it and open it, but in the knowledge that it will help families across Yorkshire and hopefully wider. I'd take some comfort in the fact Rob would be so delighted with that.
The Rob Burrow Marathon in Leeds was created, and this image defined the love, the courage and the determination that inspired so many others to donate. 17,000 contributions to date, both big and small.
I remember opening a letter from somebody who donated £10. They'd written 3 pages about why it really mattered to them that this centre was built, and that wasn't just a one-off. You know, regularly we were getting letters really saying, please keep going with this is so important.
2, 1. This was the day after Rob's death last year, and, as he'd wished for, his family took part in the ceremony to signal the start of construction. The date was already in the diary, and it was Rob's wish that not a day should be lost to the scheduled build. And 18 months later, it's ready, thanks to the efforts of a huge number of fundraisers, designers, medics, builders, one big team, with its captain, Rob Burrow, whose name now sits proudly above the door.
What a proud day for everybody involved. Look at how bright an area it is. Double-heighted glass windows, just the way that Dr. Jung and Rob envisaged it all those years ago. And here we are, ready to cut the ribbon in just a second. Let's have a quick chat to Lindsay first. What a day.
Yeah, really special day, just incredibly proud to be here, to have so many of the staff that work in the centre, MND patients here. It's just such an honour to be here.
And you talked about it, you and Rob started talking about this 5 years ago. I did ask Dr. Jung this earlier. Was there ever a point at which you thought, what are we doing?
You know, I think to raise £6.8 million, I've had over 17,000 donors, is just incredible, and that's testimony to the generosity and kindness of so many people, and we're just so incredibly proud and so grateful, and so would Rob be.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Maisie, what do you think?
It's just incredible, and we're all really proud, and I know my dad would be immensely proud.
He'd be blown away, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about it a little bit this morning, Dr. Jung, didn't we? The smiles on everybody's faces, the jaws that drop when they walk in. I mean, you smashed it out of the park.
I'm so happy and very proud of everybody who's helped us, and thank you everybody who's reached out and made this dream possible. Rob would be very, very proud.
Yes, indeed. Jeff, Rob's dad, you said something to me when we had a bit of a look round last week about this making a real difference. Yeah. Repeat that for us, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, it's the first, I think it's the first specialised unit for MND sufferers and patients, and Dr. Jung and Rob dared to dream, and here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, and we talked about it being a dreadful day when you get the diagnosis, and this perhaps just making things a little bit easier, Irene.
Yeah, oh, it definitely will do. People walking, it's the windows, the light and everything. It just makes such a vast difference, you know. It makes, hopefully, the bad news just that little bit easier to take, and it's just amazing what they've done. Absolutely, in such a short time.
Claire and Joe talk about it being a one-stop shop, which we've explained it a little bit this morning. It means it's not just the clinics, as it were, it's all of these other things that patients and their families can come and be helped with.
Yeah, and I think that was really important to us. That's what Rob wanted, and we saw as a family firsthand the things that you need that are always readily available. So to be able to do that and provide everything here, it's just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Just echo what everyone else has said, really. It's an absolute dream. It'll change for everyone for the better, and amazing.
Wonderful. You can see it. The smiles are amazing, aren't they? Because there aren't many smiles, are there, very often when you as families and patients are going through this. But it is looking absolutely splendid, and your eyes are always drawn to Rob's wonderful message there. In a world full of adversity, we must dare to dream, and this is the reality. We've got an important job to do, Jackson, haven't we? What are we going to do? We're going to cut the ribbon. So let's do that in just a second. As is traditional, I think we should count down from 7. Rob's shirt number, of course. Should we do that, folks? Everybody ready for this? Here we go then. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey! The scissors are sharp enough. What a wonderful day. To imagine 5 years ago, almost £7 million ago, this was just a dream, a pipe dream if you like, but here it is, ready to welcome patients in, as from now it will make a real difference, as we've heard, to people's lives. So congratulations to everybody involved, well done. Let's hope that it's the first of many centres to come. Lindsay, that's the plan, isn't it, from now on?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a flagship centre, but hopefully other centres will open. This is the first of its kind in the UK. To have this centre here in Leeds is incredibly special in Rob's name. But yeah, hopefully it's the first of many.
Well done, well done. I think you all deserve a round of applause. Another one. Well done. Great to see you this morning. From the Rob Burrow Motor Neurone Disease Centre, back to you two in the studio.
Listen to those words, listen to that applause. That is such a moment. And I just hope someone takes those scissors off Jackson quite soon.
All those smiles, it's good to see them.
Oh, it's beautiful.
That moment they've been waiting for so long.
Absolutely gorgeous. And all those challenges that we've covered, all working towards that.
That moment.
Yeah. And today we're going to get our first look around the Rob Burrow Centre for Motor Neurone Disease.
It's been a long time coming, hasn't it? Because after his diagnosis in 2019, Rob started campaigning tirelessly to raise awareness of the condition.
Now, the treatment centre, named after him, will be a beacon of hope for those affected by MND. And John has been there all morning for us. And John, this is really quite something. We say it's been a long time coming, but actually this building has gone up so quickly thanks to the efforts of everybody involved there.
Yeah, Sally, the build phase has only been around 18 months, but there's been such a groundswell, such a drive to make sure that it becomes a reality, those dreams of and of Dr. Agam Jung, his consultant neurologist, to create this wonderful place. Just look at it here. We've got wide paths. This is the garden at the back. Wide paths, obviously, for wheelchairs, playgrounds for the kids as well, car parking at the front, because that was one of the issues with the old hospital. It was a long way from the car park facility. Here it's all laid on. They thought of everything. They're calling it a one-stop shop, and the Burrow family were the first to take a look around.
The Burrow family have always been immensely proud of Rob.
Oh, that's amazing.
His playing career, his courage in the face of his motor neurone disease diagnosis, and now the legacy of this specialist MND centre in Leeds that bears his name.
You know, I'm 70 odd now, and this is one of the best days of my life after the family and obviously marrying Irene. But it's one of the best days of my life, so it's a dream come true.
It is. And for Rob, Lindsay and all the family. And,
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's really incredible. I think it's kind of a bit of a goosebump moment walking in and seeing, you know, the quotes and the pictures and the facilities are really first class. And, you know, ultimately Rob wanted this centre to try and help families. And I think he would be incredibly proud. And we feel incredibly proud that this centre's in Rob's name.
Welcome. It gives us great delight to kind of show you around and be the first people to come and see what we've created. I hope it goes some way in terms of what Rob, Agam and yourselves envisaged at the time, a beautiful, welcoming building where patients could bring their relatives.
It's the first of its kind in the UK. Inspired by Rob, his consultant, Dr. Agam Jung, explains how patients and their families are at the heart of the design.
And this will be like an informal space where you can just be standing around and talking rather than the traditional waiting room of the hospitals where people are just sat in chairs and lines. This end to me is really the most important one, particularly that door, because when I first saw Rob, I had felt very strongly that I had not given him the dignity. There was no space where he could have left easily, privately. Yeah. So this door to me is really important.
Hello girls, how was your day at school, my little princesses?
MND forces fundamental changes every day, so the centre will address not just the patient's health, but also how people live their daily lives with and despite the disease.
Rob would be like over the moon.
I would have loved to have seen this.
It gives everything that Rob wanted. You know, it's that one-stop shop. You know, everything you need, you come here and you've got it. So they have really listened to what the need is and delivered that.
They've got a room for everything.
Yeah.
They'll want for nothing when they come here. They just, if they want it, they'll get it, won't they? Them little things matters. And like you say, I think it's been overlooked, and it's not until you deal with someone that you realise their needs, and you can't easily get them, but you've got it all under one roof. Yeah. So it's going to be fantastic.
Rob and Lindsay's children have already given it their seal of approval. The family hope it will start a revolution, form a blueprint for others across the UK. They understand the true value of a place like this.
I know, hand on heart, that patients are at the very centre of this building. You know, everything has been designed with patients in the mind, so access into the centre, having quiet rooms, having family space, everything has been encompassed into the design of the centre. But I think to actually come here and to see it in the flesh and to see it for real, it's a real kind of pinch me moment.
Oh, yes. So proud. When Rob and Lindsay first mentioned this 5 years ago, I never thought this would be it. It is an amazing building. It's made such a difference to people with MND and the families, because the families go through a lot as well, don't they, Jeff? This is just, hopefully makes it just that little bit better for them.
Well, I think, you know, when you get diagnosed, it's no hope and no future. I just hope that having facilities like this takes the no away from no hope and no future. So these hope and these are future. And it's a massive step forward.
It's a centre of love, isn't it? Absolutely.
Rob's DNA runs throughout this building. Not just the bricks, mortar, timber and glass with light flooding through, but also in its ethos, what it means, what it can do and what a difference it will make.
That's the crucial bit, really, isn't it? And as bright inside as it is outside, it feels today. Rachel and Ian Flatt are with us. We'll use this place, but also raise an enormous amount of money to ensure it was built. Rachel, what difference will it make?
It'd make a huge difference compared to the current facility, which is just a little bit tired. The difference of people walking in here to receive treatment, to receive support, to even receive the diagnosis, it's just going to make a huge difference. The hope that this centre brings and the positivity, it's like it's in the water. It's lovely.
Brilliant. Ali, you'll be working here. It'll presumably make your working life easier.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. We've got the facilities here so we can actually do our jobs as we want to, and we hope that the patients can come have their treatment, but also that carers and families can come and spend time here and feel safe and happy here as well.
And Claire, shout across from the back there. Tell us, important, isn't it, that the patients are sort of at the heart of the design, that it's been designed that way around, as it were?
Every element of this building has been considered with patients and families that are going through this journey. Absolutely everything in this building, and I think Rachel's just said it, we've all said it this morning. It's got a feeling about it, and hopefully every person that comes through that door will feel that feeling. It's love, it's hope, it's lots of positive things which we've not had up till now.
Great stuff. Esther, from the charity, from the Leeds Hospital charity, the fundraising doesn't stop, does it? Because, of course, this has been built in an extraordinary amount of time. All of the fantastic money that's been raised, 17,000 different donations, absolutely wonderful. What will happen to money that people continue to give from now on?
So we are doing everything we can to make sure that the holistic aspect of care can be funded by the charity, and we're working together with national and local charities as well. And I just want to say a big thank you to Ian, because his fundraising efforts have been nothing short of heroic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Rachel for her support. You know, it's only thanks to people supporting Leeds Hospital's charity that we've been able to open the doors. It's just remarkable.
Absolutely remarkable. Well done, everybody. Many, many congratulations. Thinking about Rob during his career, you know, he was 5'5". He was a titan when he shouldn't have been in a sport that's dominated by very big men. But what a giant achievement this place is. We'll leave you with his words. In a world full of adversity, we must dare to dream. Rob Burrow, CBE. It's a very, very proud day for all involved. Back to you.
John, those words are so important. Rob's words, we must dare to dream, and that's his dream made a reality.
A reality today.